So apparently, my fishing game is way too hard. That's right, a fishing game is too hard. Okay, let's roll back a bit. So I was making this game, right? It's a fishing game, and its core gimmick is that it's a rhythm game. So you're supposed to reel to the rhythm of the beat. And after I had worked on it for a while, I decided to release it for people to try it out because I think that feedback is very important for game development. So I let them fill out this form. And do you know what the most common complaint is? The game is too hard. Some even call it the Dark Souls of fishing. Majority of people find it hard. Some even say it's unfair. But why is that? But first, let me explain the core mechanic of my game first. You see, my fishing game have this very important mechanic, and that is reeling. This one mechanic is the bread and butter of whether you're gonna succeed in fishing or not. How it works is that you start holding the button, and then you keep holding to charge up the reeling, and then release the button. Be in mind that this is a rhythm game, so you're gonna have to hold to the rhythm of the beat and also release to the rhythm of the beat. And succeed in doing so, raise the tension, which you have to do all the time because if tension drop too low, the fish will just escape, which means you're gonna have to reel all the time. Failing to do so means fish will escape. So what's the problem here? And establish following the beat of the song is very important, which is something a lot of people kinda have a lot of trouble getting used to this reeling mechanic. I think this is a problem of how unique my game is. Like if I make an FPS or something, you can expect that people to already be used to the FPS, and then if there is the unique mechanic on it, they can get used to it pretty easily. My game, however, is not that. Like what the hell is going on here? There's too much stuff on the screen. You look at it and you are obviously going to be overwhelmed. I mean, I kinda anticipated this, so I make a tutorial, and I also make sure that you cannot leave the tutorial unless you know how to reel properly. But apparently, that is not enough. They're still totally unprepared for whatever the fish throw at you. It's not that my game is unfair, like it is totally possible for players to get better at the game. Some of the players who playtest my game and got good at it never struggle again, even after seeing a new fish. So my biggest problem is that how can I make sure that the majority of people will be able to get use of my fishing mechanic enough to actually enjoy the game. Getting past this first barrier proved to be more difficult than I anticipated. I mean, I could chalk it off as a skill issue, but I know most people are not gonna have enough patience, especially for a guy with totally new mechanic like this. So in the next version, I decided to put an easy fish at the start. In the old version, there's like a lot of fish all around. Like I don't really care about the fish difficulty at the time. Like I would just put the hardest fish ever along with the easy fish and somehow expect the player to just try and earn out, I guess. So this new version, I put the easy fish in and also strip away most of extra mechanic. Only left with this ball thing that I call a post. I decided to make it like a straight line here. I really do expect that player would have no trouble, but some people still find it too hard. They find it hard to simultaneously keep an eye on the note and also the tension and also the reel bar, and it gets overwhelmed real quick still. Even after I strip out most of the mechanic and only introduce them later. This is what I like to call the developer blindness. Like sometimes if you are the developer of the game, you can easily just unable to see something that player will struggle against. Like for me, reeling this game is like a second nature at this point. I don't even look at the bar. I think it's because the way I designed this mechanic. There's a lot of sound cue. Most of everything, reeling sound or the action fish are doing have its own unique sound, and you could totally just react based on the sound alone. But obviously, that's not obvious enough for most players. It may be obvious if you're like a rhythm doctor player or something, but you could totally just play the game blindfolded. So what's the plan then? How could I make the game easier? Well, actually, I do not want to make the game easier. Like this difficulty is fine for me, but I really need to make a better bridge for players to even get the chance to be better at the game. One of the plans I have is simple. It's just to make an even easier fish. Like normal, this notes pause coming, and just gonna be you and the fish. And the music, just reel it. But could this really be enough? Like I see some people cannot even get past the tutorial in the first place. So maybe I need to add an extra mini game in the tutorial. Well, actually I should anyway, because I have this recalibration setting that hidden somewhere in the option that player can set the input timing that they're comfortable with. So maybe I have to force the player to set it. But what if it is still too hard? This is a fishing game after all. The fishing game part may give an impression that this was supposed to be a cozy game without too much stress. But like that whenever my intention, I want to make an actually challenging game. But hey, what do you think? Should I make the game easier? Is there any way I could fix this difficulty problem? Let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching this video. This is my first time making this devlog like video like this. So what do you think? Feedback would be appreciated. leave a like and subscribe, and also join my Discord server.